there, Aquarius. Welcome to your reading. Today we're going to do a love reading. We're going to see what the situation is for the relationship. And then we're going to do a you and them spread to see how you feel about this person and how they feel about you. First card out is To Be Fair. Next card out is Orphaned. And the last card out is Co-Create. So what I'm getting for you here is that the situation between you and this person is a little fragile at the moment. There's a struggle to find a balance in this connection. There is a lack of understanding from the two individuals involved, and one of you feels a little bit neglected. So somebody in this connection feels like their needs are not being met. And there's something important, there's a specific lesson that is coming out of this interaction of the person that feels their needs are not being met and the other person in this connection. I'm picking up that the intent here of the person who is failing to meet the needs of the other is benign and not intentional, but we'll have to dig deeper with the tarot. But I'm just looking here and seeing that the overall goal for both of you seems to be similar. And you seem to be trying to get to a middle ground or to a balanced place. At least that's the overall intent. There's some kind of dark, negative fear or energy that one of you is harboring and feeling like the peace in the connection is being maintained at a high price, at like a cost that is difficult to bear. So one of you is feeling neglected in some way and then trying to still keep things smooth in the connection by somehow either not having their needs met or not expressing what the needs are. So we'll have to jump into the tarot to understand the specifics. But I do see here with the Round and Round card that at least one of you is having a lot of mental anguish over this. I'm picking up a lot of swords energy, air energy from these cards. So let's jump into it and see what's going on here. We're going to start by seeing how you're showing up and then how your person is showing up. So Aquarius, you're showing up with the Castle and the Temple. Lots of green, heart-centered energy. So you are in your heart space. You have an open eye chakra, but I also heard when I pulled the Castle card, eyes wide shut instead of eyes wide open. So eyes wide shut, meaning there's something that you are trying not to see or trying to keep your eye away from or trying not to observe on purpose. There's something that you've been trying to kind of ignore. So I'm going to guess that perhaps the needs not met is on your side, but we need more information. So we'll keep pulling cards. But that's kind of what I'm pulling here so far. Your heart chakra is wide open with regards to this person, meaning that you're being vulnerable, you're being open. You already have feelings for them. And there's something with the Castle here about not being fully comfortable in the connection or in the space that the connection is creating in your life. So we'll dive a little bit deeper in a minute, but let's see if anything else comes out. For you, we have the Threshold, the River in reverse, the Maiden in reverse, and the Vision. So there's some vision that you have, Aquarius, for this connection. And at the bottom, we have the Hunter. There's some vision, some future outlook, something that you deeply desire when it comes to what you expect a romantic connection to look like or what you want the foundation of a romantic connection to feel like. And I believe that's the need that's not being met here. So at the foundation, at the core of what's making you uncomfortable is this desire to see a relationship in your life manifest a certain way based on a certain specific set of rules or expectations that you've outlined for yourself. So you envision something to look a certain way, to behave a certain way, to show up a certain way when it comes to your romantic connections. And something about how this person is treating you or what they're doing or how they're showing up is causing you to feel off balance from your truest version of yourself. Now, I do still see that you're mostly okay. It's not like you're completely out of tune with yourself or with your higher self. I think you're very in tune with your heart energy, which helps you make the best decisions possible. So you're able to reframe and bring things back into perspective and reset very frequently in this connection, but it's causing you a lot of heartburn in the process. So it's like a river that's not flowing quite well. So the river is in reverse. So the progress, the pacing of this connection, how fast things are going, something's out of tune about that. And then in you trying to analyze and assess and make sure that things are going according to plan, you're actually being pulled out of your feminine energy. And so your feminine and masculine energies, or your yin and your yang energies, however you look at those, are kind of out of balance because you're feeling like you have to be the leader of the pace of the connection. You're having to set the tone, or you're having to do the steps that are required for this to look a certain way, or to really show you that it's going to be feasible in the long term. And so you're stepping into a decision point. So I see you at the threshold. I see you wanting to make a decision, but hesitating to make that decision because you feel that you don't necessarily see all the signs of what you would consider a healthy, long-lasting relationship with this person, but you're still kind of hopeful. Your heart is telling you to give this person more time, or to be more patient or more gentle with the process instead of rigid. So we'll have to see what the advice is for you here, and how your person feels about you, and what their thoughts and actions are going to be towards you. So we're gonna pull the future outlook in a bit. But for now, that's kind of what I'm picking up here for you. So let's see how your person feels about you, or about this connection. How are they showing up? How is Aquarius's person showing up in this connection? We have the Orphan in reverse, and we had, oh wow, and we had Orphaned upright. So at the crux of this connection, Aquarius, this person is somebody who has severe abandonment issues. Like whatever unbalance that you feel, whatever discord you're picking up on intuitively, that you feel like something's slightly off, or like you're having to keep doing most of the work, or like dictate the pacing, or move things along, or like make sure that you're reaching out when they lack at maintaining clear communication. This is coming from a feeling of being abandoned, a fear of being abandoned. So when we talked about you're having to pick up the slack, but at what price? To your personal well-being, to your spiritual stability, to your emotional stability. This person is going through something as well, where they're sometimes struggling to do what they need to do, or show up at their best, because of these underlying fears of abandonment. So with that said, let's see what else came out for them. They got like a whole deck to themselves. Look at this. I don't know if we'll go into all of these. I might like peek at them, but they got a whole stack of cards to themselves. So we'll put these aside for now. So for your person, we're getting the Poet. The Maiden in reverse was yours, so we'll put that back. And we're getting the Mirror. And then lots of moon energy. So notice that for you, there was lots of green, there was pink and orange. It looks to me like most of your chakras are open, and you've done the work, you've looked within your dark side, etc. The only thing that gets you slightly out of balance is when you have to do too much of the masculine energy activities in this connection, and then you start to reset and reframe, and then things go back to better. But it's always like you having to be very self-aware to bring things back into balance. And this person is getting a lot of moon energy and a lot of air swords energy. So they're pretty deep inside their head. They're trying to intellectualize their emotions. And their strategy with regards to this connection is really to just mirror your behavior. So they want to intentionally let you take the lead on certain things, so that they can be sure that they're not going to be abandoned by you. So they want to be sure and have assurances about how you feel and where you stand with regards to the connection before they make a move forward. So it's almost like they wait for you purposely to take a step forward before they take a step. And then I'm noticing a lot as well the owls here. There's 3 owls on your person's side across different decks. So I don't know what that's about just yet. This could indicate that they're somebody who's slightly older than you or wiser than you, or this could be this person's spirit animal or totem animal. But they do get 3 owls, which calls my attention here. Or it could be an air sign as well. It could be an Aquarius, it could be a Gemini or a Libra that you're connecting to, especially with all the Libra energy that I picked up on. This person is trying to be smart about their moves. So they're being very cautious in the decisions that they make and the words that they use and how much energy and time they invest into this connection. And they're looking to be conservative and let you lead the emotional investment in the connection. All right, let's just look at these other cards. So we get the Shadow, Shapeshifter, the Sustainer, the Flame. So with these, the backstory here is that they are willing and capable and actively working on doing some of their inner shadow work and looking at the things that they need to improve within themselves. But at the same time, they feel like the burden of doing that while in a relationship can get overwhelming. And so you may feel that this person pulls back frequently or takes breaks from being actively engaged in communication or in interactions or in scheduling dates or times to meet up, etc., because they start to get overwhelmed. It's almost like they're trying to break free of some fears, especially these abandonment fears, but their energy with the flame in reverse, their energy is very on and off. It's like a flickering flame that, depending on how much breeze there is in the room or whatnot, depending on the conditions surrounding them that particular day, their energy levels may wane or may ebb and flow. And so you may feel this person is being a bit inconsistent. Okay, and then the storm in reverse. We get the mask also in reverse, which is a good thing. So with the storm in reverse and the mask in reverse, I'm getting that this person is trying to be authentic with you. They're trying to not hold things back from you. And they're trying to avoid disrupting the connection significantly to the point where you'll walk away, but they are taking space as much as possible to reframe, revisit their thoughts, and they're intellectualizing their emotions. So they try pretty frequently when they feel a bit off balance or those abandonment wounds are being triggered. You'll see them retract and take a step back in their communication or in their affections or in their investment into the connection in general, but it's really them starting to develop emotions and feelings for you and then getting scared by that and then retracting into their own little shell to try to process. But the positive thing is that although that probably feels very, very bad to you, very uncomfortable, I'm sure you're starting to feel like this is getting one-sided. This person is doing the inner work. They're just not sharing that and communicating it with you because either they're ashamed or they just don't know how to express it, or they don't know even how to conceptualize it into words. So I do see here that their version of their view of themselves with the self in reverse, the way they see themselves is changing. Their connection to their higher self is being reestablished or strengthened throughout this process, but they don't have a roadmap on how to get there from where they are currently. And so this has been a very slow, dodgy process for them, but they are receiving information from their higher self. They are being triggered into different vibrational levels by interacting with you. It's almost like there's a bridge between where they should be and where they are that's happening, but you can only get involved to a certain extent, Aquarius. You can't do this work for the person. They have to do this work for themselves. And their pace of getting this spiritual evolution work done and learning the spiritual lessons beneath the surface is their work. And they're going to have to do that at their pace. And you can't do the learning for them and you can't guide them a whole lot. You have to let them kind of figure it out. So again, I do see them doing some work, but maybe you getting frustrated at how that's being reflected in the connection, because instead of them communicating, hey, I need to process my emotions. Hey, I'm feeling a little bit off balance. I don't want to completely end things, but I don't feel comfortable right now. I need some space to think or process my emotions. They're not communicating that with you at all. They're just doing it. And then you're like, well, does this person even want to be with me? Do they care about my needs? And then this person's like, well, this person's great right now, but will they be here forever? Will they leave me? What if I invest and then they just leave? What if I lose them later after I'm even more invested? So they're kind of working through those really deeply ingrained fears. But the way that you've approached this with your heart super wide open has really helped this person realize that they need to work on those triggers, because you've done nothing to deserve them being distant or them not communicating consistently. And so I think by you having harmony in how you communicate your desires and your needs, you've really affected this person, and you're starting to build a bridge between how they used to behave and show up in connections, which was probably less healthy than where they are trying to be. And they're trying to find their way there. They're trying to find a balance. So then we have Kairos, and we have the nectar, and we have the vessel. So this is confirmation for me that your approach to how you've been handling things with this person has been truly impactful in their development. So you see how the eye was shut here and the eye is open now. It's almost like by you looking the other way and being a little bit less aggressive or less in your masculine energy, less demanding, less keeping tabs on how this person may have failed at meeting something, meeting some need, or keeping the pace going. You're almost like you're being firm but kind with this person as you're seeing them try to make positive steps in showing up for you in this connection, and that's helping them really be able to receive the understanding of what they need to do to keep you around. So in the past, this person has been somebody who has had the belief of like, oh, this person's great, but they're going to leave me. Watch, they're going to just leave me. Watch, this is not going to last long. This is too good to be true. And it's almost like it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy for them, because by them trying to protect themselves and be distant to avoid the pain of being abandoned after investing, they're actually the ones perpetuating the situation and causing people to give up on them and move away, or they're causing the person to react, be very reactionary and aggressive and attack them when they feel neglected. So they've had many cycles of people starting out really nice and really good and patient, and then getting frustrated and telling them, oh, you suck, you did this wrong, you did that wrong, and becoming like this very naggy, angry person that they later then say, see, it was too good to be true, I was correct, things weren't going to last with this person. So I think that's what's happening here between you and them, is that you're becoming the avenue by which this person can see and self-reflect that the role that they've played and how their actions have probably led to other people actually leaving, rather than them just blaming the person and not taking any accountability for how they may have contributed to that outcome. And so you, with the nectar, I get that, you get more bees with honey than with vinegar. So that approach of you really like feeling like I know some of you are feeling like, oh, I keep putting my needs in the back burner. I've given this person so many chances, but I think that very approach, like if you see the flowers flowing in this direction, I think that very approach of you being firm but gentle, and also very patient and understanding and welcoming when this person returns to you after messing up but tries again. I think as long as they're showing you that they do care and they are making some progress and effort forward, even if it's not at the desired pace or at the pace you would expect this to go, that's really helped them evolve and move past some of this trauma that they had not processed in the past. And then the final two cards for this person is the Sword and the Mother in reverse. So this tells me that they had trouble balancing their yang energy. So there's yin and yang. There's something off balance with this person's yin and yang energy. So they have trouble with women in particular. There's some type of mother figure or person that was a female in this person's life that did not give them consistent affection or consistent support. And they used their affection as a weapon when this person was a child, and they took away affection, they took away or made their love conditional to get them to do things. So this person has the added complication of having to have dealt with feeling that now they have an association that females, women, are very, I don't want to say all women are conditional, but they have an ingrained bias towards women, that they fear being controlled by them or manipulated by them, or like having love turned on them as a weapon. And so they're very hesitant to move things forward emotionally in this connection. You see that we had the Storm earlier, and now we have the Sword, but it came out in reverse. So I'll pull up the other card as well. You see that? We had the Storm in reverse and the Sword in reverse. So you're almost liberating this person from the fallacy that all women could use emotion as a weapon against them. If they allow themselves to care for that person, you're making them see another perspective, making them see that indeed love can be unconditional and kind and compassionate and understanding, and that this person can show up as themselves around you even when they mess up, and you're still going to receive them in a kind, respectful manner, even when they show up for you in a way that you did not want, in a way that was not sufficient to meet your needs. You correct the action, and you've been vocal about your needs and how they need to proceed going forward, but you haven't been like dismissive or abusive in your communication or super harsh. So that's really helping to heal some of the wounding that this person experienced as a child. All right, we're going to jump into the future outlook. Let's see what's the future outlook of this connection. First card out is the Talisman. Being attracted to a lot of the blue coming through here as well. We have Coming Apart, the number 46, and we have Stuck in the Mud. So based on these cards, time will tell how things will go. There's still a lot of unknown variables because there's a lot to decipher here. I see that you are possibly getting a little bit fed up and frustrated and disappointed with the lack of progress and the lack of investment from this person. And it's making you very demotivated to keep pushing. And I also see that your person here is very much needing continued help to make any kind of movements forward in this connection. And I feel like you guys feel free to comment below where you're standing with regards to this situation, but it feels like you already kind of have exhausted, for some of you, your limit of how many tries you want to give this person. But there is some hope. The background energy is coming to life with the number 29, and I see the butterflies here, and there are many of them. So there is hope that this will work out, but there's still a lot of unknowns, and there's still a lot to clear up and clean up energetically between you and this person, and on your person's side as well. And energetically on your side, it's really up to you, Aquarius. It does seem like if you continue to prod this person along or give them a push or pull when they're getting stuck, right? If you can give them that little extra help, that little push, or that little extra patience, if you can continue to show up in the way that you have been, even though it's literally tearing you apart at times and making you feel unworthy, undervalued, not respected, not cared for. It's almost like they're giving you that orphaned energy, even though you don't want to receive it and you don't have that same scar. They're making you feel like you're doing all the work in the connection. So there is still an opportunity for this to work out. I would be interested in the comments to hear where you guys are at and what you're thinking. But from what I see here for the outlook, it's still unknown, undetermined, because it could go 50-50 either way. If you're willing to put in continuous effort, I do think this person will eventually meet you at the level where things do become balanced in this connection. But that's not where things are currently, and that's not where they will be for some time. So you'd have to be willing to continue to play the role you've been playing for the foreseeable future to make this work, and then you'll start to see the changes coming through. But this person has to choose to change. This person has to choose to trust you, and they're still in that evaluation phase where they're in disbelief that this will last a while and be sustainable for them. So I guess what I would say is, if you're willing to keep making baby steps and be very supportive and remind this person and keep encouraging them, then it's possible this could work out for you guys. But if you're fed up and done and you've given what you can and you feel like continuing will completely derail your own balance and well-being, then it might be time for you guys to let this go for now. That's all that I have for today, so I hope this was helpful. If it did resonate in any way, please leave a like, as that truly helps out my channel, and I will catch you on the next one. Take care.